Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 3 of the Chobo Weekly. As always, I'm your host, Colttarren, and joining me is the lovely Polar.
Hello.
And our special guest is BeoMulf.
How's it going?
Polar's
we
camera's
lost
having a
Polar.
little bit of issues right now, but we'll work through it. It'll be all good. So BeoMulf, how are you? How are you doing?
Doing pretty great. I mean, spring break just ends tomorrow, so I have to go back to school, and that's,
Mine's just starting. I'm on that. It can only go up from here. I'm in the city of South by Southwest. Get to enjoy that. It's going to be great. It's going to be good times. So, where are you from, BeoMulf? Where are you? Place of origin.
Currently, currently, I live in Arizona. I go to Arizona State University, but I grew up about 45 minutes south of Washington, D.C., or 2 hours, depending on traffic. But, I mean, that's kind of, it's the edge of Northern Virginia. Southern Virginia doesn't really claim us as Southern Virginia, neither does Northern Virginia. It's just like this weird barrier-ish thing. So.
Very cool. So you're on CT6 right now. How long have you been on CT6, and how long have you been, like, what's your history in the CTL, pretty much?
So this is my first season with CT6. I joined them shortly before the season. I was captain of Azusa for that off season while everyone was trying to figure out whether they would come back or not. Ended up not coming back. Mm-hmm. And before that, I played for Azusa for a season. And that's my recent history. And then I was captain for, I want to say, 4 seasons on Composite, which is which was one of the first. It's joined in, I think, season 2 or 3, so one of the older teams. It's now defunct. So I was captain of Composite for, I want to say, 3 seasons, and then I was a member of Composite for a season before that. And I think that puts us back up to season 6 when I joined Team Unrivaled for a couple weeks. For the preseason between season 5 and 6, and then I was on UR for like a week or 2 after the season started.
Very cool. You're one of the old guard at this point, huh?
I know, it feels weird. Like, hey, because I still feel like, oh well, yeah, I'm relatively new to the CTL. Nope.
Yeah. Looking at that poll, there's very few people still left from the olden days.
Yeah, a lot of people came in season 6 though.
Yeah, a lot of y'all stuck around. Good on you. So, who do you think looks the strongest this season? Obviously, other than CT6, because I'm sure you'll say that.
It's CT6. Looking at the other teams, let's see. Lit Esports looks good. I mean, they have their Lit Esports and Bear Sloths. Bear Sloths we lost to, so I'm gonna have to at least say a little bit. Well, they look strong. Otherwise, what would I be saying? And then just judging on the Lit Esports player that I've been able to cast through the No Name Weekly, who's very strong, Listel. I got to imagine part of that is going to trickle down into their CTL lineup. Of course, Listel is Masters, but he has a lot of experience with Starcraft, so being able to help the rest of the team come up to that level, I've got to imagine is going to give them an edge. So, Bear Sloths, which is also Formless now, I guess, and or which also includes Formless.
And after that short delay, we are now back. Skype has died. We've moved to Discord. Polar is returning to us very slowly. And so we're just going to hop right back onto where we were. Very, very sorry for that short little blip there. So what I was saying before the unfortunate drop was Narwhal and Narwhal advanced top out of Group A with Valkyrie close behind him. Valkyrie beat Xylo a second time for the final match 2-0, which was and the first time he beat him 2-1. And then for Group B, Monk advanced top of his group with Pistosa right behind him 2-1, and Pistosa beat Tech 4 2-0 for that final match. I think so far those have been the expected results, at least for me. What about you, Beo?
Yeah, I'm surprised that Valkyrie got out, not Xylo, as I played Valkyrie in ZVT in the round of 32, And I guess he's shown a lot of improvement because that he felt like he was a little weak in the matchup. Maybe our styles just clashed in such a way that I was able to beat him. But I'm pleasantly surprised he did get out, showcasing more that our group was pretty strong. And I'm again very surprised that Xylo did not get out, as he's been a strong diamond for quite a while. Maybe he just doesn't play enough Legacy. I don't know. I based most of that prediction off of having played Valkyrie and knowing Xylo from Heart of the Swarm. Granted, new expansion, so I don't quite know.
Yeah, I think Xylo's had real life pickup recently. But anyway, continue.
And then with Group B, I'm just glad I wasn't in that group. I'm going to be like, Monk and Pisosa are probably the two people predicted most to win this league, to win everything. Pisosa won. I believe Pisosa won last season, and Monk is top masters. He's winning the No Name Weekly whenever someone else isn't, whenever Listel isn't, pretty much. Like, that's not a fair group, and I feel bad for Tech 4 and Wobbs. Actually, shout out to Wobbs for taking a map off Pisosa. That's impressive. Just Pisosa is just incredibly strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Just well done by Wobbs, and then every other match was a 2-0, which is unfortunate for those people. But what can you do? Monk's gonna do monk things, and that's just how it's gonna go. Yep. For Group C, we had Puddle and Cruel advance. Cruel beating Sauce 2-0 and wanting to prove Polar wrong a ninth consecutive time now.
Actually, I don't know a ton. I mean, I know Puddle from Heart of the Swarm. I played him, I think, in an old CSL or some tournament. I beat him 2-1 because I knew he was going to 10 pool every game, as his shtick in Heart of the Swarm was something called the 10 Puddle, as Formless called it, which was pretty much a 10 pool. I can't speak to him in Legacy, whether he's kept those same cheesy habits or whatever, but especially if he plays anything like he did in Heart of the Swarm, I'm not particularly surprised, as really cheesy stuff can catch opponents off guard. And, one lucky Baneling hit, one build order counter, and you're through the group. Well, more than one, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about the rest of this group. I know Sauce has been in the CTL for a while, and Cruel is not a name that rings a bell outside of Polar ragging on him. So the second match, I don't know. I know I looked through some of the replays from the round of 32, and I saw a 1.5 base layer at one point. But that's about it. I think he likes roaches, but I don't know.
Yeah, I similarly don't really know anything about that group. I played Cruel very early in HOTS, I think for CTL or something. But good for him. Congrats to everyone who's advanced from that group and Group B and A. And last but certainly not least, in Group D, we had our very own BeoMulf advance 2-0 out of that group in first place. And we had Chimera right behind him, also advancing with the final match, Chimera beating Raz 2-1 to deny his advancement's hopes.
And honestly, so I'm not surprised I got out. I told TBHam beforehand there was no way I was not going to get out. I played Chimera the first week of the CTL, and I lost to him, but it wasn't a clean cut loss. I threw harder than Nolan Ryan threw his fastballs. It was bad, but I'm very much not surprised that Chimera got out in second place. He's a very strong player, and he already beaten Raz already. And Raz's shtick, if he's anything like Heart of the Swarm, and from what I hear, he's a very all-in-y Zerg. That seems to be a common thing with all the Zergs in the CTL. Anyway, very all-in-y Zerg, and if you can hold that, you're in a good spot. Or, as I heard from him before playing Chimera, his goal was to try to beat Chimera in a macro game because Chimera had held his all-ins to win the first set. And if you're the kind of player that just plays a lot of all-ins and either plays from an advantage because your all-in worked, just didn't kill the player, or you just lose because your all-in didn't work, you're not going to be quite as strong in a even macro game just because you're used to either having that advantage or being dead. So yeah. I wasn't surprised at all to see Chimera make it out in second place. I mean, I very much enjoyed playing our games. They were, I'd like to say they're pretty high quality, but yeah, that's me saying having won. But no, yeah. Chimera is a very strong Zerg, and I expect him to keep doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think really overall throughout the groups, I think the biggest surprise, I guess you could call it, was you topping the group, just in terms of our predictions.
Yeah.
Sorry
you may
about
be
that.
surprised.
And so then going into the playoff bracket, for the first match, we have Narwhal, who topped Group A, versus Pisosa, who came in second in Group B.
Sorry, I'm just laughing.
What's your prediction for this?
Okay, so I think Pisosa wins this. As Narwhal, sure, I believe is he still top Diamond Yellow in the CTL?
I honestly don't know.
I know he was for a while, so that's a tough matchup. But Pisosa is Masters. He did only person I think he's lost to so far, like only person he's lost to in a series has been Monk, and he has had to play a lot of ZVZ. And on top of that, I mean, he's Masters. Narwhal is not, as far as I know. So there's just that. There's kind of that implied skill differential, and it's Pisosa. You kind of got to go with the defending champion.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Pisosa lost to Picker last season, so he's not the defending champion.
I thought Pisosa won last season, or is Picker the defending champion?
Yeah, I think
okay.
so. Yeah, Picker's defending champion. I think Pisosa came in second.
Okay.
So not too far off. But yeah, I agree. I think. What? Okay. Oh, Baloo came in second. My mistake.
Okay, season 2.
Yeah.
But I still favor Pisosa out of that matchup. Although it is ZVZ, so anything can happen.
If I can find my brackets here. There we go. Yeah, I think that Narwhal didn't have to play a ZVZ in his most recent group. I believe he had to play some in round of 32, but I'm completely...
He did not.
Oh, so then, yeah, he hasn't had to play it yet. And whereas Pisosa had to play 2 to get out of his group, so he's more fresh on having to prepare for opponents in that matchup. So I think I'm going to say that Pisosa takes it by 1 game. I think it's going to be a very interesting series, though.
I can see a 3-2 either way. Again, as it is ZVZ, really anything can happen.
Yeah. The next matchup, another ZVZ. We have Puddle, who topped Group C, versus Chimera, who came in second in Group D. Both these players are obviously very good. They had some very good matches. Both of them did have to play the matchup that they're about to go into, which is ZVZ. Actually, there's no all Zergs and all Terrans in this round of 16 and round of 8, so that's great, as always.
Yeah.
So yeah, Puddle and Chimera are going to play. I'm going to say that Puddle takes it over Chimera.
Oh, I think Chimera takes this easy. I'm going to say 3-1 to 3-0 actually. As so Chimera, so Raz is a very strong all-inning Zerg, right? He has a bunch of sneaky builds involving like moving workers from his main to his natural, things like that, to make you think he's not all-inning, and then he floods you with things anyways. And Chimera held that. He beat him 2-1. I mean, as I understand it, he lost 1 game, I think because he held the initial all-in and then it went mutas or something weird that wasn't expected. Whereas Puddle, I think Puddle's in the same brand of player as Raz is, and I am very confident in Chimera's ability to defeat a all-in-ish Zerg. So right. I think Chimera takes this 3-1 to 3-0.
Wow, strong words. See how that one plays out. The next one is Monk, who topped Group B, versus Valkyrie, who came in second in Group A. I'm going to say Monk takes this 3-0. I think Monk is a very strong player. He's performed very well in Masters tournaments. And yeah, I think as much as I love Valkyrie, and I'm sure he's a very skilled player, I think that's just the way it is. Monk is Monk at the end of the day.
Yeah, I am. Monk is, I mean, Monk beats Ninkazi. There's no question. Monk takes this 3-0. Maybe Valkyrie takes the map with some shenanigans, but that's as far as I can see this going.
Yeah. Agreed. And unfortunately, it's all same race matchups throughout this bracket stage, so there's only going to be 1 Terran fighting for that title.
You do have a ZVT in the round of 4.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. And the final matchup, BeoMulf versus Cruel. BeoMulf coming out first in Group D with Cruel coming out second in Group C. Both of these guys, very, very good players, one of whom is here, so I'm not going to trash him too hard. Cruel has had a habit for proving people wrong. So I want to go ahead and be nice to him and say he takes it 3-2.
Wait a minute now. So should I, if I want to? Well, I also have a habit of proving this show wrong. So do I vote for myself? Because then I would be proving
I think
the
you gotta
show
vote
right.
for yourself.
I gotta vote for myself, but also I don't want to curse myself by saying I'll win and then messing with the show thing. TV Ham with the lines on the thing. I think I win this. I think this is a 3-1, maybe a 3-2, as it is ZVZ. Just based on what I've seen, I took a look at the replays from the round of 16 and how Cruel plays, and I'm confident I can beat him. Also, so again, I think I can beat him. I think I have a pretty strong understanding of ZVZ, and I'm terrified of facing Monk in the next round, though. So. It's kind of silly, right? So I came out in first in my group, and Chimera came out in second, and I think Chimera has the easier bracket to the finals. he has to beat Pisosa.
Yeah, you got to learn that sandbagging technique, dude.
Oh, I know. Isn't that how UR plays, or used to play? Excuse me. I know you better now.
Wow. Anyway, I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response. I'm out. So next up we have No Name.
Love you, Colt.
Love you too, buddy. Next up, No Name Weekly, number 5 results. Coming out in this week was the week that was not limited to 8 people, which was a grueling.
That was a long cast.
Grueling cast for the casters, and just I imagine grueling for the players that went all the way through. We did have Listel end up pulling it out in first place. Notable victories for him. He beat Yellow Sky 2-1, Maujahid 2-1, Tux 2-1, and then Pisosa in the finals. He beat Pisosa 2-0. Pisosa's claim to fame was beating Tyrant Jr. I don't know who that was. It looks like they dropped out.
Tyrant Jr. is a something. I forget. Anonymous.
Okay.
He was, I believe, a GNR player. I mean, I'm probably wrong about that, though.
Allin, apparently. From the mysterious voice in our ears, known as TB Ham. And then he beat Exiled, beat Blaze, but looks like Blaze might have dropped out of that. I'm not sure. And then beat Tux to get to the finals. Honestly, I think with Monk not competing and Picker dropping out fairly early, I think that it was a pretty much expected result there.
Yeah, I was so Tux is a former copy. CT6 just recently picked him up from what's the word? I mean, CT6 just recently picked him up within the last couple of weeks, and he is a very strong player. He just actually played Rotterdam on stream yesterday. He lost to him. It was a close game though. He beat Winter on stream when Winter was playing Zerg in Heart of the Swarm. So he's a very strong player. And some of his games were quite good, actually. So I'm not surprised to see him go far. And he would have been my pick to win the week, if not for Listel. And Listel's actually really cool, right? Because so he played Professional Brood War. You can look him up on Battle.net. He was under Listel or Eve. Or not Battle.net, excuse me, Liquipedia. And he played Wings of Liberty. I believe he actually played semi-pro there, and then he didn't play Heart of the Swarm. And now he's back. And and Tux also did the CSL graphics because he's a baller. And now Listel's back, and he's just beating everyone with weird styles that I've never seen before, and I really am trying to learn. It mostly involving lurkers, so I know Polar hates me right now.
Yeah, Listel, like he decided to come back from the dead, and just has a reckoning to win these weeklies. He's just taking names and doesn't even need to check it twice. He just beats you.
Honestly, the way he plays is really cool too. Like it's not the meta for Zerg. So
which is very at least not to anyone else.
It's his meta.
Yeah, Listel makes his own. Craziness. And so I think that just about does it for that. Tux came in third place. Congrats to Listel for winning, Pisos for coming in second, and Tux for coming in third. If there's anything else you have to add.
What I will say though, if you think ZVZ is boring, or if you just want and you want to be proven wrong, or just want to watch a good series, the finals again. So it was only best of 3 because it was like 1:30 when Listel's time when we started. It was a long cast. His hold game 2 was incredibly impressive. On Orena, he held a very strong Ling all in. I can't remember what exactly the build was. Ling main all in with slow Lings, and
Wow.
he had slow Lings and some main Lings. And who was the second place? Was it Picker?
Second place this week was Pisosa.
Pisosa. Pisosa had speedlings, Pisosa had banelings, Pisosa was up on army supply when the attack started, and he manages to hold this thing. Incredible hold. I highly recommend the game, even if you have to listen to my casting. I think hopefully Amnesia makes up for a little bit.
I'm sure it was pretty good. Wow, that sounds. Now I want to watch. I'm gonna have to watch that.
It's the finals were pretty good.
Huh. Yeah, I can imagine. They're two very good players. Man, screw this, man. I'm just gonna leave and go watch that. I'm done.
I have to carry the show by myself. The guest.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, that'd be.
The guest takes over the mantle.
I'm so sorry for people listening.
And so, yeah, honestly, without Polar, we kind of lose a lot of our filler. I'm just going to be real with all of you audience members. Because we do have a limited amount of things we can talk about. And next up, we do have the Chobo Team League, the Chobo Team League Week 5 results, which we do not have all of them in. I think we have next to none in, to be completely honest. But we can talk about the ones that we do have. Do you have the score for CT6 by any chance?
I don't know. Matches are still being played or just coming in. So
okay.
I know we were ahead prior to these games, but I don't know what the actual end up score is going to be.
Okay. So the one that we do have for sure is Born Gosu defeated Unrivaled. I think 4-2. I think there's one match supposed to still be played. I'm not sure the result on that one. But yeah, I believe Miss You beat Polar in the Ace match 2-1, I believe, which is kind of interesting because Miss You was a former member of UR.
The UR grudge match, yeah.
Yeah, ran off to Born Gosu. And
that seems to happen to you all, doesn't it? Like you'll lose someone, and then they'll immediately, like very shortly, come back and beat you, and end up even if it's not the ace, it's going to be the effective ace match of the week. And yeah, that I think I've seen that happen more than your fair share.
Yeah, I think once they leave UR, they're like, let's just go screw up their season's hopes real quick. And they just come back with a vengeance, and they'll beat us, and then fade back to obscurity. So that's pretty much how it's gone down since I've been here, at least. Obviously, much love to Miss You and everyone else who's left. Love you all, and hope you're all doing well.
Yeah, I don't expect
fun.
I don't expect Nishu to fade back to obscurity. He was a very skilled player when he was with UR and I was with UR, like first year of HOTS. So I have no. I don't expect him to fade to obscurity. I think he'll be a very strong contributor for Born Gozu for the coming while.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. He's a very strong player and passes a lot. I've seen him streaming his practice quite a bit these past few weeks. And he just ladders a lot. I have him on my friends list still, and I almost always see him on when I'm being a passionless heathen and playing Diablo 3.
At least it's not Passion Stone.
Yeah, I haven't fell to that level yet. I'm sure I'll get there though.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I saw you. I was gonna say I for one like spending my money on a game once and not infinity times, however much, like every time a new expansion's out, well, every new
Hey.
like a new card pack's out.
Hey, watch what you say about Passion Stone. You'll summon Monk in here to come set the facts straight.
Exactly.
And so, with that being our only result so far, we'll just go ahead and dive into the Week 6 lineup discussion, which we do have here. And so, for the first match, for Bear Sloths versus Paragons of Perfection, for that ace match, we have Kyobex. I'm going to assume that's how you say that.
I think that's how you say it. He's
Versus-
Brazilian.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Versus Intuition. Intuition has been a force this season. Excuse me. He is 8-2 in overall matches so far, whereas Kybex is 2-0, so hasn't played that much. That'll be an interesting match.
I'm gonna go with Kybex with this one, if just not the very least to make me feel less bad about how badly he stomped me in the Ace a couple weeks ago. No, he does this against Zerg. He does this roughly 6 minute 50-second 2-base stim bio tank push, and due to the map positioning, due to some bad luck on maps, it hit about 30 seconds faster than I was expecting because we got some super close spawns. Like I got Saris close positions, and he just rolled over me. It was not even close. So, and he is top masters. So I'm going to pick him over Intuition. I think we might see a T1, and I don't know what Kybex does versus Protoss or how good he is at it. But if he hits his timings, which he seems to, I think he just rolls over him.
Yeah, I think Intuition is a very good player, but Kybex is like very strong. Like he's masters, which is an advantage in itself almost, because sometimes players will let that get to their heads. Like, oh, this guy's masters. I can't beat someone who's masters. Although Intuition, like I believe that he can take matches and possibly even take the set. So I'm going to say 2-1 for Kybex, with the possibility of Intuition staging that upset. And then this week is the 3 Platinum week. And so for Team Bear Sauce, they're sending in Flowski versus Amicus on Prion Terraces. On Prion Terraces, we have... Sorry, I'm trying to find which other ones are the plats. We have Ultralisk versus Polyester on Lairlac Crest, which is a ZVZ. And
it's
then,
Ultralisk versus It's Ultralisk. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's hard to read this thing. You're good. I was gonna say it's Ultralisk versus Set 6, but he's Set 5.
Okay.
I was wrong.
And then Set 6, there's no player for Paragons of Perfection. And I believe I'm going to go ahead and favor Paragons of Perfection for Polyester's match, but I'm going to say that Flowski is going to take that match versus Amicus.
It is Prion, so that's going to be a bit weird. I'll believe you. I don't know enough about these players, but I am excited to see the ZVZ on Lairlac. That's going to be a lot of Zerglings, and most likely a 1-2 base Lingbane all-in, trying to survive into the mid game, because that's all Lairlac ever seems to be. It's just kind of, unless you get lucky, you get those rare games where you actually are allowed to survive into the mid game without someone being drastically ahead or behind due to all-ins or due to Banelink shenanigans.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to. Lit is messaging me because I asked if they had their result or if it was decided or not. I know there's a match happening, I think, like right now or something. And so the next lineups is CTL Team 6 versus Guns and Roaches. For that ace match, CT6 is putting in Doomshy facing off against QT Disasterin or something like that. Man, these people need to make their names easier to pronounce.
I'm going to guess it's Cute Dasserin, maybe? I don't know.
That makes sense.
Or QT Dasserin?
I don't know what a Dasserin is. I don't know how you'd be a cute one.
It is someone from the nation of Dassar.
Oh, that makes sense.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's roll with it. I'm good with it. You're now a citizen of Dassarar? Was that what it was?
I'm gonna guess
I'm real bad.
He's one of the Dassarine. I know it's not.
It is now, TBHam.
It is a sci-fi fantasy country. Maybe I don't know.
As you know, anything we say on this show becomes fact.
100%.
So now it exists. I have nothing about either of those players. I've heard the name Doomshy. I've heard the name Doomshy. I haven't heard of QD Dasserin. So I'm gonna say Doomshy takes. Doomshy.
What? Yeah. Yes, he does.
Oh.
Every time he plays a Masters, and is QD Dasser in Masters? Oh, okay. Yeah. So Doomshy takes this then. He actually gets to play a player that's not Masters in the Ace match. I think he just takes it easy. Just due to that, experience playing people who are Masters, he should be able to take someone who's not. Just that experience has got to go for something. And Doomshy's actually, I can't speak to his PvT matchup, but it's rare that I take games off of him in practice. So he's in my eyes at least, he's a very good player.
Very cool. Glad you have something to contribute for that, because I was lost. But now I am found with the diamond match for that week. That is not the ace. We have BeoMulf versus QuakeCom on Arena, a ZVZ. That's going to be horrible.
Let me tell you how this is going. Let me tell you how this game is going to work. Whoever has the better 13 pool wins the game, because that is all Arena is. If you try to take a hatch, you die. If you don't try to take a hatch, you may also die. But that's just Arena, and it's terrible. Arena is just not a good match. I can't wait for the what's the word, for the ladder, for it to be removed from the ladder pool.
Yeah, it'll be.
I think it's gone.
That'll be such a great day. I can't wait. I hate Arena. I had to play on Central. That and Central Protocol are my two. I don't even want to talk about it. Other interesting matches for that, we have Y54 versus Most Powerful, which is a PvT on Ruins of Saras. I don't know anything about those people, but Y54 has a cool name.
Y54 is our captain, and he's typically been pretty good. I think in gold he was all-star one of these seasons. Had the 5-set wins and everything. So he tends to be a pretty good player. I don't know how he's going to do here. You okay?
Yeah, sorry. Dogs.
Okay.
Mike is freaking out as well.
He tends to be a pretty good player at his skill bracket. I'm going to predict CT6 to win 7-0, 9-0, but I may be biased.
Very cool. Yeah, just that'll be a really fun matchup overall to watch, because I think GNR is definitely looking to kind of come back and try and end the season on a high note. But because they did have such a rough start compared to the other teams.
And one more match of note in that matchup we have is Vash versus Carrigal. It's a PvP. And Vash used to be on Composite a while ago. And there was another player on Composite called Smithy. And Smithy was known for his DTs and whatever. And at a certain point, he decided to jump ship from Composite and play for GNR. Now, Composite played against GNR the next week. And we sniped Smithy with Vash, because we knew Smithy was going to play. So we just figured out which map was the best for PvP. And Vash crushed him. It's where the whole Vash Smash jokes comes out. I don't know whether that's still around, but it was around for quite a while. So Vash gets to play another PvP. And Vash is very good at winning PvPs in clutch situations, especially against Guns and Roaches. So I'm very excited for that matchup to see hashtag Vash Smash and say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be really cool to see. I had never heard of Vash Smash, but now I'm always going to associate that with Vash. So thank you.
Yeah, look in the chat box. Look in the chat box logs from like a year ago. I don't think those exist, but you'll find it.
And so the next one is Lost in Translation versus Team Unrivaled. Lost in Translation's had an exceptionally good season. Versus Unrivaled, we've kind of been slipping compared to how we normally perform. Normally could perform at least historically, I would say. And so the ace match for that is Retro versus Kiwi, which is a PvT starting off on Dust Towers.
I
Retro,
know.
yeah, go ahead.
I know nothing about these players, but I think Retro is going to win the Dusk Towers game, and then I think he was going to win after that, just based on what I've seen at higher levels and what I know of how the matchup works on different maps. Just because Terran seems to be favored over everything right now, except Dusk Towers is a very good build 5 cannons at every base, go to Sky Toss map.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's yeah. I think both these players play a lot because I'm in both teams' Discord. So I always kind of pay attention to who's playing Starcraft when, and like Retro is just almost always on and always playing in their clan wars. Lit has a ridiculous amount of clan wars, by the way. It's insane. But they play. Both these players just practice a lot, so those should be some really interesting, a really interesting series. I'm going to say Kiwi takes it because I'm more familiar with how Kiwi plays, but I could definitely see Retro taking it as well. Other interesting matchup is Sasuke versus Sasuke, I guess. Sure. Versus me on Prion Terraces. That should be pretty interesting. Sasuke has been having a pretty good season, and I am 0-3 in CTL. So that should be a fun one to watch.
I know that feeling.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I know that 0-3 feeling.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it to anyone playing against us. Definitely BO3. It's great.
So
that top match is xCloud versus Grim. Grim is playing up a league still, so that could be one that favors Lit. But Grim also does get commits very well to doing one build order, to could do it like practicing one build order and getting very proficient at it for his level. So that could be his advantage there.
Nice. So who
I
do you think
I cut
wins?
you off earlier.
No, I was gonna say, who do you think wins? I mean, I know you're probably gonna say you are a 7-0-9-0, but
I mean, okay, as a Team UR member, I'm gonna say UR takes as easy, and I would throw in a few dumps on Lit. However, as an unbiased CTL member, I'm gonna say that Lit will most likely take this week, just based on past performance and how strong their lineup is. I think one definite weak spot is Kenji Maru in their lineup because I told him I would trash him on here. So I'm gonna say that. And the final match is Outset Gaming versus Born Gosu. Their ace match. Outset is fielding Fedak versus Skyhook. I haven't actually seen Fedak play, but I know Skyhook is fairly decent. Do you have any experience with that?
Oh, so Fedak is right. Okay, so I want to say I played Sky. Yes, I did. Okay, so I played Skyhook in the round of 32 in the CSL, and I beat him 2-0. So I don't know about his other matchups, and I also understand that the CSL is a very different beast from the CTL, even though it's a best of 3. I think if Fedak gets Zerg, Skyhook loses. As he just, but then again, this was a couple weeks ago, so I don't know exactly where he is now. I'm gonna favor Fedak. I'm gonna favor Fedak over Skyhook, but that maybe be just a little bit biased. I don't quite know how this is going to work out, as it is random. So you can be a random. You can be very good with 2 races and then be mediocre with 1. Then you get bad luck and suddenly you lose the set.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
you're bad with 2 and good with 1.
I've always wanted to like learn random just because like, oh well, then I get like I'm only playing a third of the game right now, so then I'll learn all of it. But then I realized that the other races are effing hard. Like I just can't. Like I'll play Terran and I'll be supply blocked for 10 minutes of an 11-minute game. It's like, what happened? Like it's rough. I have a lot of respect for people who play random at an even remotely high level.
So you admit that Protoss is easy race?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, like 1A, dude. That's all you need. F2A, if even.
Yeah.
Other interesting matchups there. There are two empty spots for Outset, which is unfortunate, and it has been an issue for them this season.
Not unexpected though.
Yeah. No. the other diamond match on Arena is Angry Falcon, a Protoss, versus Zella Dragon, another Protoss. So that could be an interesting match just in terms of raw shenanigans.
So I can talk about the DVZ shenanigans that happen on Arena, but is it similarly bad for Protoss, or is there a little bit more stability?
Most of the time, it's pretty ridiculous. There are some games when you just you lose to a bunch of Phoenix because just instantly, and other game it's just weird. It's almost like rock paper scissors. Just you'll do one thing and they'll do something completely different. Yeah, it's just shenanigans. I ban that map every season, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a again. I can't wait for that map to go away.
Yeah, I think I dislike it more than I disliked Inferno Pools, and I really hated Inferno Pools.
Inferno Pools was bad.
Ugh.
That was not a fun map.
I had to play a PvP on that for my first match for Team UR. Polar got the privilege of spectating it, and it was almost 45 minutes. It was grueling.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was an experience. And so that just about does it. If there's anything that you guys in the chat want us to talk about, now's the time to ask. But I think we're just going to wrap it up a little early this week.
I think storms are imba. We've known this in StarCraft, but Polar is proving this by not being able to talk as he is dealing with his own storm, which I find that some very poetic justice, as he was a top tier Protoss for quite a while. And now he has to face storms all the time.
Yeah, we did already talk about CSL Route of 8. Talked about CSL, talked about No Name Weekly, talked about Route of 16, interviewed BeoMulf. And
Found out everyone should hate me.
Yeah. Everyone should hate you. Everyone should hate... You're still gold, right?
No. High silver. High silver.
No, okay. Hey, you'll get gold one day, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
actually.
Good day.
It's funny. When I joined UR, I was high silver, and I told when I made it past, because at that time, I don't know if you guys still do, but UR had what's the word? UR had tryouts, and I made it through tryouts. I beat I beat Joker in the ZVT.
Oh yeah.
If you remember Joker from a while ago. And I did all that, and then I was told, well, you can't play until you're gold because we need golds. I make gold. I'm told anyway, and then I leave because they never let me play.
Rip.
But
you're a vital man. He actually popped back into our Discord very briefly the other day. What was that like? It was an experience. I finally got to talk to the legend, if that's what you want to call him.
Is my long drama post still in the UR forums?
Oh, it might be. I should look.
Go back. As I left, I aired grievances I had with Vital, and it's fun. Well, I think he's talking. I think Noodle is talking about playoff predictions for the CTL, not the CSL. But I think
decided. That's not final yet, so we're not. We're not going to say it. I think Bear Sauce and Lit are pretty much confirmed at this point to get in.
Yeah, I think we see CT6 and Born Gozu as the other two.
Yeah.
Sorry, you are.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, we're going to beat you week 9, so I mean...
Yeah, right.
Dude, that'll be the easiest one yet. And we've already played Guns N' Roses, so I mean, let's go. So I think this is about going to do it for us here. Thank you guys so much for watching, even through all the blips and other tomfoolery. Hopefully it's more stable next week. We will do our very best, but some things are just out of our control.
Hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully, Polar will be able to deal with some feedback before the storms hit. So
yeah, maybe he can finally return from the South Pole. Wherever polar bears are, he'll come back from there.
Polar bears are North Pole.
I'm gonna leave.
Penguins are South Pole.
Thanks for watching.
What are they teaching kids in school these days?
Peace out, guys. Tune in next week. Bye.
Hasta